We all think of arthritis as a problem we'll manage later in life, but for these youngsters, the painful condition means a daily routine of medication and heat packs. Now their families are campaigning to improve a critical shortage of specialist doctors.
Dear Santa and Mrs. Claus, I love Christmas. It is the best time of the year.
Most children Chloe Thomas' age want toys for Christmas.
One of my wishes is I want arthritis to never hurt again.
Looking at the 8-year-old, you wouldn't know there is anything wrong with her. But she lives a daily battle. Her joints are inflamed, and at times, her tiny body feels like it's on fire.
If we go out for the day, by the end, when we'd come home, I'd just lie in bed and rest for a bit. I don't like really the pain and how sometimes I have to have needles.
You don't really like being different, do you either? Yeah.
Well, how does that make you feel?
Makes me feel lonely.
Aliana Ramada has been coping with juvenile arthritis since she was 1.
We had to wait until a rheumatoid specialist could see her. That took approximately 8 weeks. It was really tough. Sorry. To see her not be able to crawl. She couldn't lean on her knees. So we had to carry her for those 8 weeks.
Her entire childhood has been spent in pain.
It was like a lot of pain, and I just wish that everything had gone perfect.
4-year-old Nyla Peacock is about to start primary school. She was diagnosed a year ago.
She'd wake up boiling to touch on her body.
The painful journey and constant medicine is still very new for her and Nyla's parents, Adam and Rachel.
It was everywhere. Hands, wrists, elbow, shoulder, neck, jaw. She stopped eating apples. Now we know why. Hips, everything, legs, toes.
Before Nyla was diagnosed, what did the words juvenile arthritis mean to you?
I hadn't actually heard of it before. I'm a preschool teacher and I have been ever since I left school. I always worked with kids and I'd never come across it before.
We thought arthritis was something you got if you overused a certain part of your body as a sports person, or just unlucky with life in general, or for old people. Basically, that's what we thought it was.
Yeah, I was baffled when every time I speak to someone, no one knows it exists.
Having both worked in health their entire careers, Steve and Ruth Colajuri knew about the disease, but had no idea how hard it would be to get help for their granddaughter.
We knew that the numbers, children with diabetes and children with juvenile arthritis, were about the same, so we were just expecting the same level of service, and we were quite shocked when we saw the level of services for juvenile arthritis, which reminded us of the diabetes services in the 1980s.
The average time from when symptoms appear to when a child is diagnosed can be up to 10 months. Paediatric rheumatologist Dr. Christina Boris says one of the biggest problems is a critical shortage of specialist doctors.
Currently, Australia probably has about 1/3 of the amount of paediatric rheumatologists needed to provide just basic services. But if we can compare this to internationally best published standards, probably about 1/6 of what we need.
Right now, Tasmania, the Northern Territory and the ACT don't have any paediatric doctors to treat childhood arthritis. And as large as it is, New South Wales falls well behind other states.
Well, we just couldn't believe that for the whole of New South Wales, for example, there was only a half full-time equivalent paediatric rheumatologist to serve often about 3,000 kids with juvenile arthritis.
And the consequences are devastating.
So they go around in circles quite a lot sometimes before they're diagnosed, and sadly that can be to the point where some children already have complications by the time they're diagnosed, so they may have permanent loss of vision or permanent joint deformities. It's just got to stop. That's terrible, assigning a child to a life with a disability.
At least 1 in 3 adults who have a problem with arthritis as adults, it started in children. And it's a serious and very, very costly problem.
To improve services in New South Wales alone, there are calls for $5 million over the next 3 years in government funding.
I mean, that's what a dressing shed at one of these new stadiums that they might be building.
Leading the charge with their expertise, Steve and Ruth have started the Juvenile Arthritis Foundation of Australia in the hope of making it better for kids like their Chloe.
It's a failure of policy and planning, and I personally won't rest until it's rectified.
What do you hope to achieve with the foundation?
Our primary aim at the moment is to try and increase the services for these children. I mean, they didn't ask to get juvenile arthritis. They just happened to be unlucky enough to get it. And I think as a society we owe it to them to actually provide the level of service that they need.
These parents and their little ones are right behind their crusade.
Please help and look after us and give us hope.
New South Wales Health won't tell us how much funding it allocates to juvenile arthritis, but insists a number of key initiatives have been implemented to improve services. The full statement's on our website.